Hey guys, so today we are going to be doing the central locking finally on the Norweld Canopy. I'll quickly run you through some little bits and pieces, everything that Norweld has given me from a DIY locking guide just here. So all the parts you can see just down there. However, I would like to start it with, I don't have any affiliation with Norweld. I paid full price for all this gear and I'm just doing this video because I can really, and I hope it helps you guys out. So let's get into it. We'll start with this little guide here. So the Norweld central locking guide. It is, yeah, it's actually pretty good. Like from your general parts list to showing you how to like start off, how to take things out, how to disconnect for batteries, all the cleaning processes, taking the old locks out, so putting the new locks in, the actuators, what else? Yeah, pretty much how you put your actuators in, how you've got to take a little screw out of the new lock, how they actually hook up, all your measurements. Yeah, it's really good. This was actually one bit I couldn't believe about this kit. Like, I've seen some central locking kits in my past from other canopies and everything like that, and doing other bits and pieces, but Norweld give you all these little right angle alley parts here are for your canopy along here to run your cables, which I think is pretty cool. Like, usually they'll give you a wiring harness, your actuators, and then that's it. And then they even give you all the measurements depending on the length of your canopy to your doors. Like, you've got the 1500, the 1740. Yeah, like it just goes on and on, showing you exactly where to put everything. Measurements, you name it, it's there. You've even got on your wiring harness all the markings for rear door, left door, right door. Yeah, pretty much shows you everything you need. Like, yeah, even hooking up. So if you've got that certain wiring package, how to hook up to how to hook up to your shunts for your negative and then your positive to your battery. Yeah, the only thing I will admit they don't show in this, and that's because not every canopy is like this, is this little part here. So as you can see, this bit of alley normally comes through to about there. I'll quickly take it to the other end to show you. See how it goes all the way through to that little notch there. So that's the only part they don't show, that from that notch back to where the box section is, you need to cut that out. That is to do with the actuator. So when you take an actuator, I've got one here, and you put it up, it literally, sorry, that's a bit rude of me, it literally just hits it. Like, just hits it, because that's exactly where it's got to sit, and it hits it. So if the actuator was a tiny bit smaller, it wouldn't, but it does. So yep. And then in going with that, you also, these plates here, you need to put that there and then the actuator over that, just to make up for this little lip that's here. So that pretty much makes it flat. That is probably the only part that's not in the actual the guide, which is pretty damn good if you ask me. I will show you I'll show you somewhat of how they say to do it. The only thing I'm going to be doing different today is I will not be using these, as I don't want them visual, and I don't want the cable, which is here, I don't want that visual. So for myself, I will be putting the actuators on. I will also be modifying the actuators, as in roughly around here on the top side, I'll be drilling a hole, and then the cable will be coming out there. And then I will be drilling a hole into the aluminium just there, and then running the cable through the box section down back here, because it's all linked, and then there'll be another hole here for this actuator, and then I'll bring it probably out here and run it along here using P-clamps, which, if you don't know what they are these little bad boys here, which pretty much that there. So what Norweld already do. So I'm gonna run the cable out through there, I'll put another P-clamp here, hook it onto there, I'll pass it up there, come out here, P-clamp, and then it's going to drop into there, hook onto this one, run all the way down to there, and then it'll be the exact same on the opposite side. So today I'm only going to film one side. I will also film, yep, you got to pull the fridge out, because that bracket there with that inside there, and then goes to the battery and everything, that goes up there above where my AC charger is, between my AC and my ARB air compressor, and it just mounts to the extrusion on the roof. So you mount that there, you run your wires down to your battery and your shunt, if you've got that wiring kit. If not, you run it down to, I suppose, the battery and an earth, the earth battery if you don't have that shunt, and then yeah, you run your cables out and hook it all up. It's pretty much that simple. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to rip the fridge out, and I guess I'll start off by mounting all the wiring and everything, all the little modules and that. I'll mount up there and run the cables out to each door, and then we'll start mounting the actuators. Anyway, let's get into it. I might not talk the whole time, but that's just a quick overview of what we're going to do today, how we're going to do it, and yeah, if you've got any other questions about it, just drop them down in the comment. Alright guys, so hope you can see this well. So I've got the fob module, I suppose you'd call it. Sorry, can't think right now. I've got the screw pack, and I've got this here. So this is the mount that's going to go up on the roof. We're going to crack these cable ties, and then so this bad boy is going to mount like so. Don't worry, it won't crush it. There's foam in there to hold it intact. And then we're going to go into, we're going to find the smaller ones. So there'll be two smaller nuts, bolts, and you'll have washers and nylons. Going through that, yeah, that's the rest of the gear for that, and the other two washers for the top side. So I'm just going to quickly put this part together. Yeah. So I'll just get this one on. Making sure, so like when we bolt that up, I'm going to have it sitting like that, the cable running down the back wall. Yep. Yeah, is that going to work? See, I guess. Might have to slide the ARB compressor forwards that I'm looking at right now. But when we get to that, we get to that. Make sure everything's nice and straight and where you want it. So there's that. Get rid of those for a moment. Alright, then this itself is going to mount this the same way that everything really mounts to the track system here. You got two track nuts, you got the spring washer and the normal washer. So I'm just going to make them up. And then I'm going to have to climb up inside, so we'll get some parts ready. I'll go grab the 12mm or 13mm, sorry. Put them up there. Put that up there. I'll also grab the wiring harness. And kind of make the wiring harness ready. I'm going to preempt, I think, the moving of the ARB air compressor. So yeah, I'll grab the camera off. We've got grab the camera off. So you can see up there, if I prepared myself anyway, you can see the track where the ARB compressor, just where my finger is, ends. Yep. So we're going to mount onto there, and we're going to mount onto this track here. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit it behind there. Possibly will. However, I'm just going to run around the other side and loosen off the track nuts on the compressor, and then when I'm up there I'll loosen these two on this side, so if I need to I can slide it over, get it up, and then push it back in to be nice and tight. Yeah, I'll quickly do that. I hope this is a bit easier for you to climb up in here, because I'm not the smallest guy. It's definitely a bit tight up here. Alright, as you can see I'm up in here now, so we're going to have one bolt there and one bolt there. Oh, with this bad boy. And you know what? Might just fit. Whoa. Probably just not, to be honest. But that's pretty much where it's going to go. Okay, so usually it'd be a bit easier, but hey, what do you know, we got it. Got it first go, there you go. Oh, that was actually pretty easier than I thought. I didn't even really need to shift this ARB compressor, which is good. Now that's the aerial, so I guess that's just going to sit there. I don't know, I might have to just put a bit of double-sided tape to the roof. I guess it will depend once I'm using it to what it needs. And then you've got this one here to the harness, and just work out which way that goes and push it together. And then you can work out where you're going to run it. I'm going to run it just down there, and then the other cable going up, the other one going down, and so forth and so forth. From what I can tell, that will work alright. I probably should have checked the manual, that user guide I showed you earlier, just to make sure. But from this point, I'll run the cables out and make sure all the lengths are fine. For instance, this one here, I'm going to run it up. This is also where those little bits of 90-degree aluminium come in handy, because they stick up on this headboard here the whole way along the top and everything to secure the cable. See, this is a good part about someone like me doing this first. I work out all the do's and don'ts for you. So that's going that way, that's going that way. We'll sit that there. Third one's coming down here. That one's going out to the right-hand door, I guess you'd call it. This one's going over to the left-hand door. Let's see if I got that correct. Yes, left-hand door. So from here, I'm not going to hook on any power. I'll come up and do that last. I'm not going to put any of that in 100%, just so if I actually need to move that across or whatnot, I can. However, that's where I want it to stay, so hopefully it can. Anyway, let's jump out and we'll start running this cable along the door, mocking it up. This cable here, we'll run it along, make sure it meets all the lengths, and if it does, then we will, I guess, start to do everything. We'll take these off and put everything on. Alright. So we want this to run down to here, and then yeah, it's looking, that's looking pretty sweet. It's actually got a bit of extra length to it, which is good. Yeah, so let's start threading this. So I want it to run up behind here. So get that through there. If you want to make that a bit easier, I'd probably tape that, but it looks like it is going to come through pretty easy. And yeah, so we're going to come down. I'm going to have to drill a hole in the top here to get the cable in there, and then we'll pass this single all the way down to the end there. However, I reckon from here, let's work out where these holes exactly are going to go on these bad boys, and then we'll we'll mount them up there. So we'll go back up here onto the little workbench, which I haven't really thought about yet, but so from here we're going to take that one and that one off, which will take the black cover off. We can also mark where we're going to put a hole. So say if that's there where it's going to be, I'm going to want the hole pretty much dead center, I reckon, or actually no, just above the K. So the K just there, so we'll go just above the K, the hole, and that should be perfect. So we need a 7mm, a 10mm, and a 13mm. I think that's it. So just make sure too, when you redo these up, that you don't do them too tight, as that is only plastic. So you don't really want to crack the casing. Okay, so that's why, as you can see in there, there's a little tube. So yeah, make sure you lift off square. Oh, she's not going to want to. So pretty much when we drill that hole, the cable's going to come up like that, because that's where the K is. So where the K is, we're going to drill a hole about there on all of them, but we'll do two. I'll do two and then I'll install two and get this whole side installed, filming, and then the other side is pretty much just identical but mirror. So I don't really need to show you that. There you go, a little bit of time each side. Alright, I'm going to quickly take these off here. So we need to come up. We're going to take them off. And of course I can't get that other one, so I'll have to grab a 8mm. Alright guys, so that was a me stuff up. When I installed these handles, somehow I've done the nut up on there a little bit too tight, and I don't know if you can see it, but I've stripped the inside of it. But all I did was got the screwdriver in there, pushed it, which like applied the pressure for me to get the nut back onto the thread and get it off, which won't be a hassle once I put the plate on and everything, because it's not going to go back on there. However, learn from my mistake. Don't do it up with a gun. Do it if you want to do it up with a gun to get it there, and then just do it up with a ring or a ratchet spanner. Anyway, I will set this camera up somewhere behind me, and we will. But let's go from here. So I've loosened off that center nut just there. Yep, just to give it a bit more play, and I've also undone this one all the way, but I haven't taken it out, if you know what I mean. It's just so it's not hanging out the back anymore. At this point, we're gonna get this on by getting it all around. Of course, I dropped it. Alright guys, so I have just climbed up inside. I'll show you what I've done. So if we come up in here in the canopy, you can see the cables now are all neat. We've got P-clips all hooked up, P-clip, 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 runs through here, cable tied onto the existing non-boiled light cable. Then I've put one of their brackets up there which hides all the cables back there, up to the device. Cables run down the back. I'll just climb up a little bit further. So we've got, so it might be hard to see, but we've got the negative on the shunt here. Cables running down here. I need to neaten them up a little bit, and goes in there to on top of the battery, which we've hooked it onto the positive just there. So I can come around here now, and from here I'll stand close enough so you can hear it. You can probably see it actually. We'll lock it so it locks, can't unlock, and she works. So on this side, yep, that's there. I've drilled a hole just there. Cable goes in, down, through that tube, and then it pops out just here. This one comes in, down, and straight through and into the mechanism. Yep, that all goes out there. We'll quickly run around the other side so I can show you. So around the other side I've got all the gear out because I've had to get in there to the battery well. It's a bit messy, but so we've got another one of the brackets just up here. Cable runs out. I've got a cable tight there. We've got a P-clip there, P-clip there. You can see, so we've got the two cables just sitting there at the moment. Haven't done this side. And then you've got the one cable goes through there, comes all the way down here. And as you can see, it's hanging out there. So then at this point, all you do, undo those two screws, put the module on, plug it in, and away to go, making sure everything clips onto here, the actual mechanism. Anyway guys, I'm going to get into it. I'm not going to film doing the other ones because I've already filmed the first two. The only thing I will say, and I've learnt today with the hardware in these locks, is do not use a drill to do anything up. Do everything by hand because you will ruin the thread. Yeah, so definitely do not use a drill, do everything by hand. Follow the instructions as I didn't really from the start, however I did in the end. And yeah, you should be right. Any other questions, hit me up, or of course hit Norweld up. This is their little kit that I've installed. I've done it slightly different. So yeah, if you've got any major difficulties or major questions, hit them up, but you can also ask me and I'll put my 2 bobs in. But yeah, hopefully this was yeah, hopefully this helps you out with the install. I know I stuffed up a couple of times. Yeah, stuffed up a couple of times, had a couple takes of things, and yeah, that's about it. Anyway guys, hopefully yeah, you enjoy it.